So how does flexibility impact on the recruitment sector, and why are we still talking about it? Why is it not an industry norm? I'm going to share my top tips for you today, and I consider myself an expert because I've been working flexibly since 2005. Recruitment is not a 9 to 5 job, as we all know, and it's an ideal sector where we can speak to people before work and after work. Why shouldn't we go to the gym in the middle of it? But it's very important to set boundaries from the start, because the blurry lines between work and life must not be compromised. Is recruitment flexibility a privilege to be earned, which is very common, or a standard requirement that all should have access to? Why should anyone have to fight for the right to party? Recent statistics taken by Total Jobs of 4,000 job seekers interviewed, there were 53% who had current flexible working. So we've still got a huge way to go in terms of allowing everyone to have the access to allowing a work-life balance. Why shouldn't everybody have that? Now, typically, if anybody's working flexibly in your business, it's probably a working parent like me, school run, doing emails on the Tesco run, endless laundry pile. 25% of my placements this year have been working parents, so it's definitely a trend out there. But you know what, in terms of looking at people like me, 24/7, it's a wraparound. You can do your desk before work, after work, but the danger then is a burnout recruiter, which is quite typical anyway. How do you govern a 24/7 recruiter as a business? Millennials, they expect flexible working. 1,000 were interviewed for Powwow Now, and 75% said that that was a prerequisite. In 2025, 75% of the global workforce will be millennials. You need to capture and retain that talent now. Alex, I told you not to share that. That was private from my holiday. Now, we're moving away from the Wolf of Wall Street images recruiters. We're all aging, let's face it. We need to make flexible working available to all of these generations, not just people that look like that. Shared workspaces. I have been an inhabitant of one since 2016, and in 2017 there was a 190% trend increase in these spaces, perfect for recruitment companies, in my opinion. Productivity can be measured so easily from flexible working with your CRM system and apps such as 15.5. The output is money, it's placements, so allow that to be rolled out and measured on a quarterly basis. And don't forget feedback, FaceTime, WhatsApp video, and new apps like Appearing. The downside is that sometimes people can feel that they're left to their own devices. What's the impact internally on those that don't have access to flexible working, though? There's often resentment. So I think open communication is very important. Maybe roll it out on a trial basis, and also measure results and behaviour as well of people that are doing flexible working. What we're going to do now is look at 4 testimonies of companies who've actually used flexible working as part of their strategy, all at different stages and all in different markets, and each one will give you a tip for success. The first example is my own business, Qui Recruitment. I set it up in 2005 after my first daughter was born. Now, I'll be honest with you, it didn't always work well. I had one lady that worked for me, and for a year, I think she metaphorically shuffled papers. She failed to bill anything, and she's gone back into a corporate environment. So it's not a one-size-fits-all. I feel it's my role to educate employers on taking on people with flexible working. And my top tip is to have daily contact with anyone that's working flexibly and empower them to hit their targets. Finley James, they have got a hashtag Project Freedom, and they've rolled this out across their entire business after a trial period. But they do say the word of warning is it doesn't suit everybody. Not everybody wants it, so set clear boundaries. And the top tip is to let them run their own desk like a business. On IT, they're a new startup, been going 18 months in Manchester, and from the offset, 3 days a week in their Manchester office. And by month 3, all of their billers now are billing 20k a month. Their top tip is to encourage that work-life balance, and you get much better output from your staff. Mulwood Partnership, the owner Sharon Mullen set up Strategy in 2001, the original flexible working company. She had 100% staff retention. Her top tip is to empower and have mutual trust with your people, and they'll never leave you. We actually asked our social media audience how many of them had flexible working, and 43% answered that they did. But all of them did say that the most important thing is to ensure you have technology to back this up and allow personal flair from each individual. So, as a huge advocate of flexible working, my top tips for success are to empower through training and development and a good, strong infrastructure, to have a supportive culture and mutual trust to allow a work-life balance to success. Thank you.